Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we're going to discuss the 2024 Sony original sequel film, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, hour 55 minutes. It's the follow-up to the 2021, I believe, film, Ghostbusters Afterlife. So Winston, Peter, uh, Janine, who else was there? Ray. It's nice seeing these original characters back 40 years later. The original Ghostbusters came out in '84. So to then have, and this is the first time Janine Melnitz is suited up in a Ghostbusters suit. Annie Potts playing Janine, respectively, in a live action. Real Ghostbusters, the TV show, different. But it was cool seeing him come together fighting New York, right? Fighting for New York. You have Finn Wolfhard as Trevor and his younger sister, McKenna Grace as Phoebe, back. Mark Ruffalo is back as well as their pseudo stepdad. It's never really finalized at the end, but he's been dating their mom for quite some time, and their mom being, of course, Egon Spengler's daughter. So to have the new gen and the old gen come together to face the Frozen Empire, ravishing New York City, it was neat. Parts of this I did not like at all, but overall I really enjoyed the bringing the mayhem to fruition. Right? What happens when the ghost containment in the firehouse is filled? What happens? Stuff happens. What happens when this orb, which is housing this ancient god from an alternate dimension, happens to come about? Thanks to this character Nadim, who is this fire master, who is tasked for the last thousands of years to, family-wise, family has been tasked for thousands of years to make sure the orb, housing this Garaka evil entity, ice entity, does not see the light of day, doesn't get the Frozen Empire that they so desperately want. How does that work? How does that whole battle work? Now that we have a god in the mix, how does this work? Another god in the mix. How does this work? It's neat having more lore to this live action universe. It's neat seeing things, but I could not stand how they got Garaka out of the orb. Phoebe literally unalives herself in this experimental machine which separates the spirit from the possessed item. And she's like, oh, well, in theory, you could just take my spirit out of my body and I could be a spirit for 2 minutes. And that's the way that the entity possesses her then body, so that way she can then speak the words to open the orb. And I was like, there was no other way. In all of the sci-fi universe, there was no other way to get the orb open. We have to unalive McKenna Grace's character willingly for 2 minutes, have the spirit possess, have her then come back to her body. I was like, this is just weird, because it wasn't even a matter of like, oh yeah, I'm going to help out. It was like, no, I want to hang out with my ghost friend, so I'm going to unalive myself for 2 minutes. I was like, what? What the hell are we watching right now? I couldn't fathom who approved that. It was just weird. It was weird. It wasn't necessary. It's not appropriate for the Ghostbusters franchise. I don't understand why that was decided on, and why no one questioned it, and why it was then shot and edited and approved. I don't get it. It was ick. It gives you the ick. You're watching this, you're watching the 15-year-old girl who makes a new ghost friend want to not be alive anymore. It was not a Ghostbusters thing, right? Ghostbusters, you fight the ghosts. And then it got just strange because I want to be a ghost. It was weird. It's very weird. I didn't appreciate it. I didn't like it. But I liked the ending a lot. I liked how the two gens come together to fight the battle, to defeat the monster. But then, of course, all the ghosts start, causing chaos again. And it's wonderful. And the mayor from the original film was back as well. That was pretty neat too. So certain things, or the second film, certain things were really cool, getting reprisals of. Certain things were very well put together in regards to continuing the story. But that blip in the middle was just so awkward. And I couldn't fully appreciate the ending because of how awkward that blip was. But the ending was still really good because everybody came together to fight, and it was everybody's cheering for the Ghostbusters and they saved the day. So I don't know, man. It was an interesting watch. I appreciate that Slimer was a puppet. I'm so happy I have a Slimer tattoo on my arm. Um, so happy Slimer was back as a puppet. CG, not just pure CGI. He was a puppet CGI'd, um, with a CGI overlay to make him translucent, of course. I uh, I have mixed feelings for this film. They're making a third film in this new trilogy, which they should. You know, the kids are obviously older. There was a whole thing that Finn's character of Trevor was, I'm 18 now, I'm an adult. I'm 18 now, I'm an adult. So what happens now 3 years later when he's 21? How does that happen? How does that work? What's the next bit of now that there's this new facility at this Triborough Aquarium where they're housing all these other ghosts? What happens if that facility is attacked? So many different things in this lore that they can, go into. I just hope there's no more awkward, cringe scenes moving forward. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire 2024 original sequel film. Interesting. On to the next review. Mahalo.